All right, here it is, another episode of Let There Be Talk. It is episode number 737. How the hell are you today on this Monday out here in Los Angeles, getting ready for what they say is going to be another fucking superstorm? Just rain city this year in LA. Anyway, welcome to the show. I'm just back from Palm Springs for the weekend. A little comedy with my man Bill Burr and some modernism weekend, which I've been wanting to go to for years. Basically, it's a week of modernism. It's like they set up tours of all the greatest houses out in Palm Springs, everything. And I'll get into that in a minute. Before I do talk about that, I want to thank all the new Patreoners. Let's get them on here right away. Also, if you are listening to the podcast, pause it for 1 minute and then go and leave a review of the podcast on iTunes. Sorry, I'm looking up the new Patreoners. Here they are. Tyler Fox. How are you? Cecily J. Kenny Abel. Lisa Hiani. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Some of the new Patreoners. And also somebody else. Hold on. I want to give this person a shout out because they just did like a straight donation to my PayPal. Pretty fucking kind, my friend. Very kind. Let's see. Who was it? It was Zane O'Loughlin out there in Sacramento. Sacramento. That's what the dumb radio morning DJ would call Sacramento when I was growing up. Hey, it's going to be 105 out in Sacramento. Oh, holy shit, that's funny. Oh my God. Anyway, thank you for the Patreon. You want to join everybody, patreon.com/Dean Del Rey. Get your bonus episodes and some live Zooming out there. And the tour dates are at deandelrey.com. And yeah, there you go. Merch. I don't know. All kinds. I'm fucking a little sleepy today, trying to get this episode fired up. I just kept chilling on the couch. Is that rain mode, man? It just gets into rain mode and you get home from the road. Look at that. I got a little something on my fucking mic there. That's going to bother me. You know, what's it? And anybody else that's got like, whatever the fuck, what is that shit called? Where you just cooked on something, where you just, counting something, or I don't know. I am fucking lost today. Okay, so I'm back from Palm Springs, and everybody knows, if you've listened to this podcast for years, that I absolutely love Palm Springs. I have been going out there for years, but I went out there a lot during COVID. I had a little fantasy for a minute. Didn't think I was going to be doing comedy anymore because of COVID. I was like, it's over. I'm going to move to Palm Springs. I really like it out there. It is just beautiful when it's not 148 degrees. Even we were just there this weekend and we're outside, and there's something about Palm Springs where I think the ozone is, people say there's a hole in the ozone and everything. I think it definitely is a huge hole in the ozone or something over Palm Springs, because it was only like 78 degrees, but you could just feel the sun like on your fucking neck right here. Like it's tapping you like, hey, dude, I'm burning you up here. It's only 78. Look, it's 80, 90 in LA. I'm never standing there in LA going like, fuck. It basically feels like back when you used to fry ants with the magnifying glass. Remember that with the sun, just fry ants? Remember when you first learned that? It was like you're just burning leaves in your backyard, starting mini fires with the magnifying glass. Oh my God, just instant fucking lighter. whip out the magnifying glass, the bigger one too, like the big one. And then you get that, it's got to be like a real small pinner beam. If you had the big beam, it wouldn't light, but you get the proper beam and you got some fucking smoke. That's what it feels like in Palm Springs. Even at 78 degrees, you're just sitting there going like, oh, I'm fucking burning right now. I don't know what that is, but I absolutely love Palm Springs. And, you know, if I didn't do comedy and I wasn't afraid of the boiling heat in the summer, I'd live out there. But Gertie does not like the fucking heat. And you know what else doesn't like the heat? Your goddamn car. You just sit in your car out there. You go in to the grocery store for a minute, and you come out, and your car's like, seriously, like 140 degrees. So that's a big bummer out there, a little thing called fucking heat. But we were out there this weekend, me, Bill Burr, and the great Club Soda Kenny. And we went out to do a couple shows at the Agua Caliente casino, I guess it was. Nice fucking casino. No cigarette smoke allowed inside. So just beautiful, man. There's nothing better than a casino with no cigarette smoke. Oh, you can just walk through it and not worry about just stinking. But nice place. Great kind of a mini arena. It was kind of like this cool bowl. Really fucking nice. Josh Freese and his wife came out. That was great to see them. Total surprise. Had no idea they were coming out. And a couple other friends were there. 2 sold out shows. Great audiences. And, you know, we did one show Friday night. Then we woke up Saturday and we got to go to the Elvis Presley honeymoon house. I had set it up about a month before because Bill said, hey, here's a couple dates in Palm Springs. You want to do them? And I go, oh, shit, that's during Modernism Week. So like I said, you can sign up for these tours of some of the most famous houses. One of the greatest houses, I think, of all time is the Kaufman House. Let me look that up real quick. The Kaufman House it's just a fucking it's a masterpiece of architecture. Let me see here, Kaufman. Let me see when it was built. And now look it up if you want. Kaufman House, and Kaufman is spelled Kauf Mann. Kaufman Desert Home. Architect, the superstar Richard Neutra. And it was built in, let's see when this was, 1946. Unbelievable. So right there, you got the Kaufman House. And then in this neighborhood, it's just loaded with some of the greatest architecture in the United States, probably in the world, as far as mid-century modern. And one of the guys that was really heavy involved in it was a guy named William Kreisel, or Kreisel, depending on who's fucking saying his name. And I was always a fan of his because I fell in love with his work out in Palm Desert called The Sandpiper. He was a guy that did kind of the first mid-century condominiums, which was unheard of back then. Condominiums, people would come out from LA, like Marilyn Monroe and fucking people like that, and stay in these condos and just chill outside of the LA business, man. So we went to the Elvis Honeymoon Hideaway. It's the famous one that looks like a stealth bomber. And William Kreisel did it. And it's right next to the Kaufman House. There's like a cool fucking A-frame house there. There's a bunch of great shit right around it. And when we walked up, it was really wild to notice there was like steel construction to the right and steel to the left. And right away, my insanity was like, nope, couldn't live here. That's going to be 2 years of fucking just noise, just fucking trucks, beep, 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 and bad music in the morning, and people talking, hey, fucking Frank, and you know, what was there was tennis courts for the Elvis Presley honeymoon house. And to the left was just a nice open property that was kind of like an orchard, they said, and everything. And this guy bought the Elvis Presley Hideaway. Elvis didn't own this. He didn't live there. He was only there like 3 nights for a honeymoon. But this guy bought it from the original Alexandra family. And then he sold off 2 plots of land in front of it and then flipped the house. Total dick move, because now the next people that bought it for 5.5 million are living there in between these 2 fucking full construction sites. So that was a real bummer, man. I'm sure once the homes are done, it'll probably look amazing because they're doing mid-century style houses, but I'd much rather see a tennis court there and just an open property, but the property there is worth a fortune. So me, Bill, and Kenny went inside to the Elvis Presley honeymoon hideout. Apparently, he wanted to get married to Priscilla Presley in this house, but the old school Rhoda Barrett, remember her? She was a gossip columnist. She caught wind that he was there and then snitched it off to other people. And there's just paparazzi out there and shit. So he snuck out the back to Frank Sinatra's limousine. He went through the orchards, him and Priscilla, and they drove to Vegas and got married and then came back. Wild story. This thing is known as the Elvis Presley honeymoon hideout. And he basically was in there for about 72 hours. That's how fucking big of a star Elvis was. Anywhere he went, they'd be like, Elvis lived here. Oh, yeah, how long? Well, he was here about 16 hours, but, he did live here for a minute. The guy that bought it and flipped it was kind of weird. You get a half hour for the tour, which, by the way, shout out to Modernism Week for hooking us up, man. It was great because it was sold out. And I said, hey, we're going to be in town anyway. We could pay to come, We didn't know we were going to be there, and they did us right. So the guy that flipped it, he was showing it to us, and you only get 30 minutes. And he basically 15 minutes of it, he's talking about how he bought the house, making the tour all about himself. Yeah, I bought the house like 5 years ago. And, I just, I wanted to sleep in all the bedrooms and take a bath in each bathtub and then sell it. That fucking guy was nutty. There's some video of it on my Instagram. And also I'm sure there's some great video on YouTube. Somebody did like pro stuff. At some points, I was filming it, but then I was just looking at the house in awe, and I was just filming the ground, which was all terrazzo. The floors were terrazzo, which I fucking love. This is all architecture, mid-century, design nerdy shit. But I can't recommend enough a trip to Palm Springs and just see what it would be like to live when it wasn't all about just track homes or boxed apartments. It's funny, we were driving out there and there was a newer neighborhood built on the side of this hill before Palm Springs. And it was just like probably 1,200 houses that looked identically the same. It was gross. Just in there, stacked, next to each other. Just identical houses. Just so Stepford Wives. You just turn down the street. Yep, here's my house. Oh shit, that's not mine. That's Teddy's house. Here's my house. Oh no, that's Suzanne and Frank's house. Yeah. I mean, it's just fucking the samey same. So to see this beautiful stuff in Palm Springs is always just inspiring. And every time I go out there, it makes me want to just live there. I keep playing the goddamn lottery. It could happen. It's funny because they were talking about how the houses cost around 12 grand, and every one of them was the same in this neighborhood in Palm Springs, but not the same like the bullshit I'm talking about. It was the same floor plan, but what they would do is they turn the houses different ways and put different roof lines on them, like a butterfly roof or that kind of V roof, that looks like like I don't know, like diamonds. And then that would give it a different feel in the neighborhood. And man, it totally works. When you're in there, you're not like, look at all these dumb houses look the same. It's just beautiful. They're just works of art. So we didn't get to go to the Frank Sinatra house because the show was 8 o'clock and we were supposed to go to the Frank Sinatra house and the party was going to start at like 5:30 or 6 and we're 20 minutes away. So I was like, yeah, I better not do that. But I will be back out there soon and take rent a bicycle and just ride through that neighborhood. You can rent bikes in Palm Springs and just cruise around. That's the way to do Palm Springs before it becomes 1:14 out at nighttime. Thanks for everybody that came out to shows. Really good shows. Like I said, great casino. And just kicking off the 2024 dates that I'm doing. And it felt pretty good working on a bunch of new stuff. Getting ready to go to Portland on Thursday, Portland, Oregon, and then Vancouver Friday and Salt Lake on Saturday. Those tour dates are on deandelray.com. And then in March, I am headlining Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis. And I really, really hope that you guys buy tickets and come to this if you're out there, or Fort Collins, Colorado. So, yeah, those are some headlining dates coming up. And Mic Drop in San Diego. They're all on the website, deandelray.com. Feeling pretty good about some of this new material. Okay, so yeah, that's it, man. I was out there for the weekend. Now I'm home. I'm chilling. Looking up. Oh, by the way, I talked about the Sphere a couple weeks ago and seeing you too. And I am still in this full-blown awe, Mach 2 of Octung Baby. Mach 2 being the first time Octung Baby, it came out. I hated it and then returned it, then bought it. I've told that story. But right now, since I went to the Sphere, I have been just obsessed with Octung Baby again. Just can't stop listening to it enough. I was rocking it yesterday, all day Sunday. Just getting into that back half of that record. Love is Blindness, Acrobat, Wild Horses, all of that shit. Just a fucking great record. Can't stop listening to it. I just want to throw that out. I do have a new band recommendation for you. Let me get this fired up for you people right here. And I really like this fucking band. Somebody sent it over to me. It's called Ghost Woman. And let me see if I can find out anything about them. I haven't really dug deep because I've just been so into the music. Ghost Woman. Let's see where they're from. Ghost Woman. Here they are. Ghost Woman musical band. The record is called Hindsight is 50/50, and it's out right now. And if you are into some fucking desert rock, oh, they're out on tour too. You're gonna want to fucking dig into this band. There's not much on their website about them. It's just tour dates. That's kind of fucking weird. Let me see if that's, yeah, just tour dates. They're they're doing Boise, Idaho, March 20th through the 24th, Tree Fort Festival. April 27th, Austin at the Psych Festival. These guys are great. Let me see if I can find anything on them, which is kind of a bummer that there's nothing on their website. Ghost Woman. Not sure where they're from. Let me see if I can find out where they're from here. This band is really fucking good, man. Ghost Woman, and it's WOMAN, not women. Uh, Here we go. They got an Instagram. Let's see what we got here. Isle plus Ivan, Europe and UK bookings, North America bookings. Yeah, nothing fucking on these guys. Really weird. Like, no, where are they from? Somebody's gonna tell me. I know it. I think they might be Europe. Anyway, record hindsight is 50-50. I cannot recommend this enough. It is a fucking great, great record. So I wanted to give them a little shout out there. It's been about a month or so since I've shouted out some new music, and Ghost Woman is definitely in there. Okay. Something over the last week, somebody sent me over a photo of the very first Foster phrase that I worked at. I worked at a Foster freeze when I guess I was 13. I don't think you could work in California until you were 13. You had to get a work permit. Weird. And you couldn't work too many hours because of school. But my buddy Mark Gardeman, his mom owned a Foster freeze. And I remember exactly what happened. I wasn't really looking for a job at 13, but we grew up pretty broke, my mom and I. And I went to Guitar Center in San Francisco, the one that was on not Lombard, Van Ness. It was the old small one. It might have been the new one. No, I'm not sure. I can't really remember, but I remember walking in. I think it was the new one. And they had the Gene Simmons Axe bass and they had the guitar. And I talked to Gene about this on the podcast when he was on, which was fucking highlight of my life. Unbelievable. But Kramer made them, and it had the metal Kramer headstock. Remember that? That was kind of slit in the middle. A lot of people don't remember that. Early Kramer had the metal headstocks, kind of like those other guitars had them too. I can't remember what they're called, the Lucite ones. Anyway, I saw the Axe bass and guitar, and I wanted the guitar, which is ridiculous. I think it was something like $1,300. Might have been a little more, whatever. And I was like, God, I gotta get that, man. And, I'm coming off a paper route when you're like 10, 11, 12, which is the original sweatshop. I forgot I used to do that bit. How come nobody talks about the original sweatshop, the paper route, American? Yeah. Oh, that was it. I used to do this bit. I hate when I go into Starbucks and they're like, hi, you want to donate money to get the kids out of the Chinese sweatshops? And I was like, no. What about me? What about the America sweatshop, the paper route? What about that? Where were you for me back then? You work fucking 30 days a week, getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning. You had to fucking fold the papers back then, put the rubber band on them. You're all fucking black with ink. And then you put the bags on your bike and you're dodging drunk drivers. I've told the story before. Like, you're going down the street and, you're trying not to get kidnapped and you're throwing the fucking papers up. You're not putting it on the porch. The people are screaming at you. I said porch it, motherfucker. And then you get seriously, like $27 or something at the end of the month. So that's my first introduction into the working world back when I was a kid. And the next one was Foster freeze. And at the time, America, the minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. And I was like, $3.35. Okay, cool. I'll just work. And you could claim exempt, so they didn't take taxes out because you were a student. So I worked like a full month, and I get the first check, and I think it's like $90 for a month. And I'm like, oh, I'm never getting that fucking guitar. And I quickly forgot about that guitar and just focused on, I got a job now. And I was working with my buddy Mark Ardeman, and this Foster Freeze happened to be right in the neighborhood where people cruised. So I was like 13 working, and like, like teenagers are coming up like, let me get an ice cream, fuck face, and girls would be like, hi, like flirting with you to get free ice cream. You'd just be like, oh, yeah, here, making a fucking caramel sundae. Ooh, maybe she'll like me. Here's a caramel sundae for free. Just fucking Mark's mom owned the place, but we're just meanwhile giving away shit. My favorite thing was you got a meal each meal or each shift. So I just fucking make my own shit, invent my own stuff. Like, here's a triple cheeseburger with jalapenos and a caramel sundae with French fries on top. You're just doing dumb shit. And you just smell like a French fry fryer when you come home. You just stink. But I did that job, and it was definitely early introduction into work ethic, because I had to fucking ride the bus there that took like an hour. And it was only like, I don't know, 20 minutes away, but the bus stopped at every stop. And then, at night I'd ride it home and then walk to the house. It seemed like it might have been awful, but the memories were great. Anyway, it closed recently, and it had a cyclone fence around it. I hadn't thought about that place in years. The bus stop was right across the street, and just some of the memories of that, like your first job, it's fucking wild. Like you're working. It's so weird to have a job where you go in, you had the time card, and then you got to put on whatever the fuck thing they make you wear. This was like it was cool though. It was like a blue work shirt, and it had like Foster Freeze, the cone guy. It was an ice cream cone with eyes and shit. It wasn't cool. I don't know why I said it was cool. Looking at it now, I'd be like, that's pretty cool. But when you're young and you're trying to think you're cool, you want to be wearing like an AC/DC shirt at all times. You don't want to be wearing the Foster Freeze shirt. One of those ones. Remember that on Fast Times? As soon as Judge Reinhold's going to go deliver the fish and chips to someone, the guy's like, hey, whatever his name is, Randy, where's your fucking pirate outfit? And he's like, well, I'm getting in the car. So I'm like, you are a proud employee of the fucking Buckaroo, fish and chips or whatever it was. Put your outfit on. So he puts the fucking outfit on, and he's driving to deliver the fucking fish and chips. And he gets to the red light, and he looks to the left, and it's Nancy Wilson in a Corvette. And he's like, oh, hey, baby. And then he forgets he has the dumb fucking hat on, and she just laughs at him and burns away. And he just throws the fucking, that pirate hat out the window. That is the fucking early work of dumb work uniforms. So as soon as I got off work, I'd take that fucking shirt off and get on the bus and be like, this is my Van Halen 2 shirt. First jobs though, man. What was your first job? What did you do? A lot of people don't even fucking want to work now. Nobody works. You notice that? I was at a movie theater. No one working there. I just walked right in. It was crazy. No one wants to work. I don't know what happened, man. But when I was young, you got a job, and then you saved up a little money, buy yourself a Datsun B210. This is the non-rich kids. I went to school, and there was like a rich neighborhood, and then there was like the poor people like me. It was like on Outsiders, the greasers and the socias. And the kid would come up, drive up in like a brand new fucking Mustang. You'd be like, this fucking rich kid. Oh, it's made me hate rich kids all my life. I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyway, Foster Freeze. Great, great old school memories. And did you ever eat at a Foster Freeze? They were fucking so good. It smoked McDonald's and Jack in the Box and Wendy's and Burger King. And, they were like franchised out and they were all over California. I don't know how many are left. Let's see if they have that here. But and also I don't know if it was just a California thing. Foster Freeze. It's weird. It's Freeze. Freeze. Not to be confused with Josh Freeze with Freese. Okay, there's some open right now still. Whittier Boulevard. There's some in LA. Eagle Rock Boulevard has one right now. That's not too far away. I might have to fucking try it out. Here's the Wikipedia on it. Their new logo is not as cool, but it still has the ice cream cone guy. Foster Freeze is a chain of fast food restaurants in California. First location was on La Brea Avenue in Inglewood. Wow. Opened by George Foster in 1946. Still operating. That's fucking amazing. 78 years ago. Number of locations as of now, 62. The chain's name refers to its soft serve ice cream and milkshakes. Its marketing slogan is California's original soft serve. Its mascot is Little Foster, a smiling ice cream cone. Little Foster got the OG logo. I'm looking at one from Cloverdale, California. Now, I'd go on these long motorcycle rides up to the Redwoods, and there'd be like 4 or 5 Foster's Freeze on the way. And I would hit them all the time. Just bikers out there in front of a Foster Freeze in their leathers, eating an ice cream sundae. Oh, and they had the fucking chocolate-covered bananas, frozen bananas. Remember those? You just looked like you're giving someone a smoker while you're eating that thing. Is frozen banana smoker. Okay. George Foster moved to California after World War II to open up outlets of a Dairy Queen. Since he owned the development rights in the state of California, however, state laws protected the dairy industry, preventing the use of the word dairy in his restaurant names. What the fuck? So instead, he called it Foster's Old Fashioned Freeze. That's crazy. And then he later dropped it. 1951, he sold the chain's 360 locations for $1 million. 360 locations for $1 million. He owned them all. By 87, it had been reduced to 189 locations. That's fucking crazy. El Polo Loco signed on and bought them. That's a wild thing. It's probably boring to you, but it's just a little memory lane to me, Oh, look at this. Foster Freeze in Atwater Village, which is close to me, appeared in the movie Pulp Fiction. There you go. Fucking Quentin knows how cool Foster Freeze is. It's funny. They have those type of chains that are state only. Like you'll go to another state and you'll be like, oh, what's the fuck is Cactus Time, But that was my first, my paper route was my first job, but that was really my first real job. And it was weird. You had to deal with people and you had to learn how to work a register. And you had to know how to do math. Like it didn't tell you the change. It was the fucking one you push the buttons in. Yeah, I'm fucking old. I'm 58. You press it. Okay, cheeseburger, $2.75. And then a fucking vanilla shake, $1.50. French fries, $1. And then hit it total, and the guy give you a 20, and you're like under the counter doing finger math, like when you go on your first date and you're trying to figure out the tip, you're like, let's see here. Okay, it's 12.75. He gave me a 20. And you're just nervous. You're fucking nervous. Hey, you gave me the wrong change back, buddy. Trying to rip me off. No, I'm 13. I'm nervous. Eventually I got off the cashier and they put me over to the fucking burger flipping. Just fucking flipping some burgers, cheeseburgers, dropping some fucking chicken into the fryers. Yeah, man. Old days. Old days. I wonder if I got any Social Security coming to me from the Foster Freeze days. Anyway, yeah. Rest in peace, Foster Freeze, the one I worked at. Awesome. Neil Young and Crazy Horse have announced a tour. Now, if you guys remember, I saw Neil Young a couple months ago at the Roxy for the 50-year anniversary of the Roxy. Neil Young had played the Roxy the opening night. He played it a few nights in a row. And for the 50-year anniversary, he went back and played it with Crazy Horse. He had not played with Crazy Horse in years, and it was wild to see. And I thought for sure, no way are they going back out because, they're up there, man. They're up there in age. So the tour is called Love Earth Tour, and it starts April 24th in San Diego, 2 nights. And it seems to be like it's going to be outdoor amphitheater type of sheds, like the Shoreline type of places, if you know the Shoreline in the Bay Area or the Greek here in LA. But they're not playing LA, which leads me to believe that maybe they're going to be announced at, what is that, Stagecoach, because there's no way you wouldn't play LA like the Greek or the Hollywood Bowl. There's just no fucking way. But he's doing some cool shit. Like he's doing Forest Hill Stadium out in Queens. That's a cool venue. So I got to tell you, man, if you have not seen Crazy Horse, do yourself a favor and get out there and see Neil Young on this tour, because you definitely do not know if you're ever going to see Neil Young again. He has not been very active in the tour world after COVID, and he has definitely not played with Crazy Horse in a long time, other than the the Roxy shows. So I can't tell you enough how much I love Neil Young, and you have to go see this just to hear like a Cowgirls in the Sand or any of the classic long jam, Cinnamon Girl, that stuff where they just open it up and play like 15 minutes. Unbelievable. And that set list that I saw was, they played the first 2 Crazy Horse records. Everybody knows This Is Nowhere. And hold on, let me see that real quick, because it was fantastic, man. Neil Young, Crazy Horse. You got to go see this. Out of anybody, people go, you think I should go see such and such or such and such? I would say see this Neil Young, because how old is Neil Young? Let's see, Crazy Horse set list. Crazy Horse set list. God, you gotta love the internet. When I saw him, here it is right here. This is Roxy. What a fucking set list. Here we go. Tonight's the Night. Unreal song. And then they're playing Come On Baby, Let's Go Downtown. Great one. Albuquerque, unreal song. Tonight's the Night. Like I said, just fire. Cinnamon Girl, everybody knows This Is Nowhere. And then, you get classics like Down by the River, Cowgirls in the Sand, and what else did I love? Oh, fucking Albuquerque is just that's just fucking that's just a beautiful song. Um, so yeah, that tour is coming up too. Let's see. It starts in April, which is weird. It just fucking dropped out of nowhere. These people seem to I mean, Neil Young or AC/DC and stuff, they can drop tours like that because the tickets will just be gone instantly. And which by the way, I wonder how the Dead and Co tickets are selling. I'm sure they're fucking gone. I heard the AC/DC tickets are already gone in Europe and they're adding like second dates and stuff, which is wild. People are asking if I'm going to have Chris Chaney on the podcast. I hope so. I hope to have him on. I'm sure he had to sign an NDA, so he doesn't really want to say much. And he might not even be allowed to do interviews, actually. They could have the clamp down on him. Angus and Brian do the talking mostly. So I'd love to have Cheney on, talk about his audition, how it came about, stuff like that. Mom. Okay, let's see. A couple more things. Thanks for tuning in today. Obviously, it's a solo episode, or it would be the longest intro ever. Like, oh, okay. My guest today is Gertie. Gertie's over there on the couch, waiting, snoring, and she wants to talk about her new food. She's pissed off that her old food company went out of business, and the Gertie interview is right around the corner. Um, let's see. Okay, I guess that's about it, other than the tour dates. One more time, give you a little rundown. Podcast is brought to you by actually Standard and Strange, my one-stop shop, and they are the best for denim and boots and leather jackets, all of that. Standardandstrange.com and Banker Guitars. Get yourself a boutique guitar, Banker Guitars. Both are on Instagram. Both are incredible companies, and I love them. I love them both. Banker Guitars, get yourself a Carina V or an Explorer, or get a Junior. The old double cutaway TV Junior. Oh my God. I just saw that Brent Hines from Mastodon. He got another guitar from the great Matt Banker. Oh, speaking of that too, this Marcus King has been dropping a bunch of new songs from that Rick Rubin record, and each one is absolutely fantastic. So dig into the tracks he's been dropping. Mood Swings. It's just fire, this song, Mood Swings. This guy's got a classic record on his hands again. Another great fucking record. I've heard the whole thing, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it also. And he dropped some tour dates. He's going to be up in Portland. I saw the old Crystal Ballroom. I did that place with Marcus. That's where the woman did the green out, just passed out face down. I'm looking forward to going to Portland this weekend. I absolutely love it. Great food, and who knows what the weather will be like. But Portland, Vancouver, I'm looking forward to Vancouver again. And then Salt Lake's always fun. So those are the dates, deandelray.com. And yeah, I guess that. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel too. I love you guys. Have a great week. Stay safe out there. And if you are coming to the shows, let me know. Hit me up on the Instagram. Don't forget, one more time, leave a review on iTunes. See you later.